Follow the flow. Kill those beats.
Seem like I ain't had a good sleep in a long time. Smoking and selling, drinking and driving, paying attention to road signs. My mind gone down bad, brain cells getting hog-tied. Still worried about the lifestyle, how I want it all and it want mine. C4 can't trust in no niggas. I don't have love for no bitch. Keep all your hugs and your kisses. It ain't no leverage for me, it's just better for business. They playing my songs on the radio. A nigga had radio wishes. Some people gon' hate, that's the way it go. They wish I ain't stayed as committed. Came in the game tryna make a name for the rain. I play for percentage. I wanna wake up to some millions. I want them to think this a rental. I want that global exposure, cause I'm not the monkey who stay in the middle. Hate the way they portraying me, nigga. Got that Lord where you pray for me feeling. I met plenty who say they was with me. Ain't no way in the day I forgive them. Coke or Patron on the way to my liver. Roll up a blunt, find a way to forget them. Send her the dick, hope she know I deliver. You eat the coochie and booty for dinner. I'm not a pimp, baby girl, I'm a killer. Pistol tucked in like a motherfucker splinter. Come from the pistol, made runs in the center. They want me dead and down under the building. I got the shovel and rubber to build it. Premonition said what a time to be alive, but this here ain't no wonderful feeling. I had no doubts they would die from beginning. Been lost my mind, how y'all think that I'm winning? Can I survive as the same when I'm sinning? Push out the whip, gotta think for a minute. Mouth to feed when my stomach hurt. Got me killing instrumentals with a hunter's purpose. I done bit the pain, I know you see it in the surface. Summer in the rain, bring a stain, no detergent. Gotta keep a thing, let it bang if you're nervous. Got a couple niggas on the clean, do you dirty. Early bird gang on the lean, bright and early. Been this way since elementary. You can miss me with negative energy. I'm on point like a straight line of symmetry. One middle finger up to all my enemies. Sit for kaboom on omnipotent entity. Still feel like Bishop to someone get rid of me. Still rockin' true in the Gucci.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of Zoomies Stretching with Old Friends. I'm Chris Chisholm from Zoomies. We're here with Walker Ryan, and we're going to help you guys make sure that you're warming up and keeping yourself stretched out so that when you go skate, you have a better session and a better chance to be able to go skate the next day. The dude that is on the other side of the screen is Walker Ryan. This man has perfected just about every trick that I'm hyped on, including the one that we're going to talk about today, the 180 manual. So let's pass it to Walker. What's up, Walker?
What's up, Chris? Thanks for having me. Stoked to nerd out on some stretching for the 180 manual. So just as a background, so I love this trick, but I am using it very broadly here to refer to any kind of trick that like involves a 180 into a manual, be it a flip 180 trick, backside, frontside, nose manual, switch manual, fakie manual. There's kind of we just have a mix of them. But the main thing is it all involves kind of like keeping your core strong and flexible and your back flexible, because really like that motion, as you know, because I'm sure you like this trick too. It's all that it's all that back turn and hold. So my good friend, Kyle Brown, he's a physical therapist and he's involved with Old Friends. I hit him up and said hey, what's a good little routine specifically with 180 manuals in mind? And that's what he gave me to run through. So we'll be going through it, and hope either you follow along or note some of these stretches and strengthening exercises for later. Cool. All right.
Back.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Cool. Yeah. So just a little background too about me this year. I pulled my lower back super bad, and it took like a month and a half before I was fully back skating again. And Kyle gave me a list of easing. He had to ease into some of these because some of them involve a lot of flexing and holding, but some of them are just nice and relaxing. And it just helped, I keep doing them because I just want to maintain some back strength and some core strength. But this is the one that I love to start with pretty much any day. Is just, we call it the open book, and it's good for thoracic rotation flexibility to wear it out. And you're just keeping your knees close or touching, as you can see, and then opening all the way. And I like to do it 10 times each side, and it just feels really good. It's even something to do in bed if you have the space.
I'm gonna say it looks relaxing down there on the ground.
It's good. Yeah. So this is one of, once you get in the habit of doing this one, it's just, I feel like it becomes everyone's favorite because it's just really relaxing.
That's dope. What is that mat something that comes with the Old Friends foam roller, or is that your own yoga mat?
No, it's an Old Friends yoga mat that we've made, but we've unfortunately sold out of them. But yeah, we just wanted to make it get some made. Originally, like I wanted to do like huge. I wanted to treat yoga mats like board graphics, and
That'd be sick.
just put like some big graphics on the mats. But we haven't gone that far with
That would make yoga mats so much more cool.
right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's a little pricier than I expected, but hopefully in the future we can get it going. And minimums are kind of higher. But yeah, this one I'm doing now is called Thread the Needle, and this is also good for that thoracic rotation flexibility. And it's just like, I mean, that's the doctor's terminology for it, but basically it's just making sure your back's just more flexible and ready to make those turning motions. Because what I've found, and the reason I've been so hyped on doing a lot of these dynamic stretches in my like kind of pre-skate warm-up, is the most common injuries for me, and the easiest way to just like fuck myself up are just those little injuries, like the little ones when you're just like so hyped to skate, you don't do anything, you just start skating, and you start putting your body into these weird positions that they're just not you're just not warmed up for. And
right.
I mean, I know you skate. I'm 32. How old are you?
25.
25. Yeah. So you start feeling it like 25 and up, where you're just kind of like those little movements can sometimes like
the small ones for sure. It's like a flat ground. You're warming up, you flick wrong, and then your ankle's kind of tweaked. It's just those little bitty can make a big difference.
Yeah. So that's what I've been all about within the last few years, especially as Kyle, who I grew up skating with. He's Dr. Kyle Brown. He's a physical therapist, and he's very well informed and passionate about making sure skaters know like basically passing on the knowledge about like how the body works, which I am, fairly ignorant to, or at least not like an expert.
I think a lot of us, we just go out and do it, and then you don't really understand the science behind how to make yourself better.
Right. Yeah. Or in this case, kind of like prevent injuries, Mm-hmm. And so, so he's got me on a lot of these, and they help, it just helps. And if anything, it kind of gets your mind in like a more pumped state, because you've sort of, these aren't stretches in the traditional sense of like touching your toes for 30 seconds and just kind of like those boring stretches. These all involve some type of movement. So that last one was, that one's the modified lunge open book. And that one is kind of, we're starting to pick up steam with some of these, where they involve like a little more strengthening. And like, so for example, this one, the side plank,
looks like it'd be really good for your neck too. Like it's pre-stretching your neck, which I think obviously
totally.
I do. Like sometimes you throw your neck the wrong way, it's an immediate game over. So
totally. Yeah. So this one is a side plank with rotation, and it's also just good for that core rotational strength, which like manuals is just all core. It's crazy when you think about it like that. Like I love nerding out on this. Like what is involved in every trick, like you were telling me you just figured out switch big spins.
Yeah.
I always tell people with switch big spins, like it's all shoulders. Like if you just think about your shoulders, that is the key to the trick, making sure your shoulders go from like straight looking switch to like straight looking regular.
Definitely.
So with manuals, it's like, it's all core. So a lot of it comes down to just like making sure you're like strong there.
You have to have that proper balance, or that manual is not going to hold. So
yeah, exactly.
It makes a lot of sense. So how did you get involved with Old Friends? Like, where did that start?
Yeah, so almost 5 years ago, I just connected with one of my best friends growing up, Chris Collins, who's longtime skater, and also a graffiti artist, and just like good with graphics and designs. And he had drawn this little doodle, the little hugger that you now see as part of Old Friends. And I had just been wanting to start a company of my own, something, and I wanted it to be hats because I just always wear hats, and I had lost my hat sponsor. And so we just like, came up with like a few layouts for how to put it on hats, the name Old Friends, and then we got it going. And it's just been a progressional, development with what we want the company to be. And his art is what you see with all the graphics, or we do collaborations with friends of his. Like this one that I'm wearing is sick. It's like a really awesome graffiti artist homie of his who we got to do one of the shirts. And yeah, so we just want to do clothing, but then on the side, everything that's with the fitness side of things comes down to basically like, I always rolled with a foam roller when I traveled. When I had a bad knee injury, Kyle got me back with like a lot of those resistance bands, strengthening routines. And I just realized like no one is making that stuff in skating with skaters in mind. So we just started making a few little things here and there.
Yeah, y'all were definitely the first ones that I ever saw do anything like that. I was hyped on them.
Yeah. And so we just, the next stage of that was bringing in Kyle Brown, who I told you also grew up with me and is now a physical therapist, and just bringing him into the company to really kind of solidify that aspect of the brand that we're doing, which is like not only the fitness gear and giving it sort of that sanction of approval, like, hey, like he is a physical therapist recommending use of this stuff. And now we're doing actual like videos and tutorials and podcasts about specific injuries and rehab routines. So
that's awesome.
It's just been this cool little progression that we didn't expect or plan for, but it's just been happening.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's been fun.
So it looks like the stretch that we're on now is full resistance band.
Yeah, so this is actually the main one that I used for this recent back injury. So you get into like a side plank kind of thing where you're on your elbow, as you can see. And then you like open your legs like clamshell. So it's the side plank and clamshell holds. And it's just core and gluteal strength. And it's like, I don't know, that's the one where you wouldn't expect it, but like that just activates like the lower back for me. At least that's what I was feeling. And it's a good one. So I still like to do that one just every few days or before I go out and skate, just to make sure I'm like warmed up. But it's good.
That's awesome. Do you feel like you've seen a massive change, I guess, in how much longer you're able to skate or how you feel while skating since you started like persistently stretching at this level?
I mean, I would say that like the little injuries are happening less for me, at least, like just those like stupid ones where, like, for example, I think the reason I pulled my back was, I'd been in quarantine for a couple of months, hadn't really skated. I was back in New York where my wife and I live. And I was just too fired up and I didn't do like a proper warm up and I just pulled my lower back. Like I skated, probably like a couple miles with a pretty heavy backpack, got to the spot, everyone was skating. I was just too antsy.
Just ready to get out.
And so I just and then it was just on a front side nose slide. I just felt the tweak and I'm like, God damn it, So it's really good to just like dedicate some time to these sort of things before you skate. And it's so hard because you're always just impatient, and it's like take some like real, if you can do it at home before, like a nice little routine, especially if you have like a mat, that's best, because you feel kind of weird being at the skate spot or park, like swinging your legs and like getting on the ground. But it's just so important. And anyone who's a skater knows, like, you just get hurt, or athlete really, but you just get hurt in the most unexpected ways, usually more so than like when you're trying something scary or when you're trying something gnarly. Like, yeah, so I mean, I definitely, especially when things like these happen, and I like it.
Well, then at that point, all you do is go skate. So if you're just going to take extra time beforehand, which I guess speaking of, I think that's something that a lot of us that skate that don't stretch as much that would probably benefit from kind of understanding. You talked about like just taking time before you skate to do it.
Yeah.
How much time do you usually like allot to stretch
I mean,
regularly?
yeah, it doesn't need to be that much, like for example, with foam rolling, that's really good for like improving flexibility, but you don't need to dedicate hours to it. Even if you're just hitting each body part for like 10 seconds, like it's helpful. And actually this month we're doing this thing on Patreon where every month we focus on a new topic, and this month we're doing foam rolling. And Kyle basically explains like a really good foam rolling routine, and then we talk about the research behind foam rolling and like what in his world the discussions are. And it's just really interesting because like, I mean, to sort of summarize it, and it's again, I'm not the expert here, but basically like you just don't need to do it for that long, which I really hadn't expected. And so for like the other stuff, the dynamic stretches like that we have earlier, like a good 10-minute routine is going to help. If you want to do a little bit more, that's fine, but you really don't need to be doing this for like, an hour or something. I just went on a trip with the Sovereign team, and Nate Greenwood he's one of the pros on Sovereign, and he's insane. He'll be warming up for like 2 hours, like before we skate, when we get to the spot, and he's using every different kind of like little fitness piece of equipment that you could even imagine. And that works for him. And he's like the best skater I've ever seen in my life. So I can't say like, I can't knock it and tell him like, oh, you don't need to warm up for that long. So it's really whatever you feel like. But I think that like there's kind of a low bar for, you don't have to dedicate that much time.
That's all right. I mean, I think most people can fit 10, 15, 20 minutes into their routine before they skate. I agree with you on that, being juiced and ready to go. So it's hard. I think that's what hopefully people can take from just watching this stretching and the amount of dynamic stretching that you're doing. It's not difficult stretches. It's things that any of us can really do at home.
Totally. Yeah. And they just, if you're doing them correctly, they are activating certain muscles in ways that are just helpful. And it's like, there's another side of sort of fitness and thinking about fitness when you're skating, which is like real strengthening workouts, which I admittedly am not very good at, like really like doing my lunges and doing weight training. And that stuff probably helps even more because you're really like getting your muscles strong. But I'm like, I get so worked just skating that I'm like, I don't know if I have time to like actually do that. And I should. I mean, that's like probably the prime way to do it. But, one of these days. For now, I'm just like trying to make sure I do my like warm-ups and my like a good round of stretches before I skate.
I'm sure it makes all the difference. I can imagine even just me personally starting to stretch more over the last year. Not even at this level, like I'm learning to stretch at this level, but it helps. And anything that you can do to make sure that you can skate better and longer and prevent injuries, like that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, totally.
For those of you guys who don't know, if you guys want this foam roller and resistance band that Walker's using, you can get them from Old Friends, which is his brand.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the shout. Yeah, we do a little PT pack. So you can buy the foam roller with a jump rope and some resistance bands, which is fun.
Ooh. Do you use the jump rope? I watch the 9 Club a lot, and I've heard Kelly talking about jump rope.
Kelly's on the jump rope program, which is good. I mean, I do. I like to do a little like routine every time. I mean, it's like the perfect, like what we sort of prescribe with our little, we call it the SIBO warm up. SIBO Walker and Kyle like collabed on like the perfect warm up. And the finisher is jump rope. It's kind of like the last little step in just making sure like you're getting going. Kelly seems like he's on a kick right now where he's like real obsessed.
He's hyped.
And I like barely can get 50 in a row without like clipping, but it's good. I mean, it's just like it gets the whole body going. Cool.
That's awesome. I haven't jump roped in a long time, but I've heard a lot about it recently from other people, and it's something that I feel like I want to kind of get back into just as a quick cardio and a quick stretch.
Yeah. Are you a fan of Jimmy Carlin?
Jimmy Carlin's one of my favorite skateboarders growing up. That's the reason that I learned how to fake hard in the first
No
place.
way. That's so
Yeah.
cool. We also do like a podcast where we interview skaters, and so far we've done Sibo, Alexis Sablone, and we just put out Jimmy's yesterday.
That's
Jimmy
awesome.
is the most insane jump roper. We don't talk about it in the podcast, but like the stuff I've seen him do, like you hand him a jump rope and first try, he'll just do the most insane routine you've ever seen in your life, and it's just like nothing for him. He has like signature jump rope moves that he's like.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you should Google. I'm sure if you Google Jimmy Carlin jump roping, you'll see some shit.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. Jimmy's one of my favorites. He's such a funny dude.
Yeah, he's the best.
And his skating is so unique and so just him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I don't know. I'm psyched. We'll do like we want to do a little giveaway. And so if you do like a comment, throw a comment here on Twitch and just like let us know a trick you're thinking of or you'd like to see, maybe like a trick, hopefully nothing too gnarly, but something you'd like to see in a good stretch routine that coincides with it, and we'll pick a winner and come up with something good.
That'd be dope. I think people would be hyped on getting a chance to win stuff, and then also learning new stretches next week. It's going to be a way for them to kind of keep connected. And if maybe you guys don't connect with the 180 manual, you haven't gotten there yet, or it's not something that you enjoy, there's tons of tricks that we all do. So there's plenty of options. So throw yours down in the chat below, and we'll pick a winner for this giveaway.
Cool.
But Walker, is there anything else that you wanted to plug? I know you've got a lot going on with Old Friends. There's a lot going on with Sovereign.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on all over the place with the brands, but I do also want to give a shout out right now. So I'm from Napa, specifically St. Helena, and right now we got some serious fires going on. So it's really rough. And there's a couple, I don't know if we can like throw these in, but there's a couple really good orgs that if you have clothes or like a little extra money and you want to throw this towards that, it'd just be awesome. There's a lot of people displaced. I mean, I personally have a couple of my best friends have just like had their houses burned down. And yeah, so it just I'm not sure the best way to sync it all, but Napa Valley CF.org is a really great organization right now helping people, and NapaFarmBureau.org is also great. And it's hard to know like where to give, and I'm sure especially if you're in California, everywhere is close to somewhere, or not even California, just like the whole West Coast. Everyone probably knows somebody affected by these fires that are happening right now. But yeah, just be mindful and keep it in mind and look into it, because it's a little can go a long way for these people who have been displaced.
No, absolutely. We all know there's been a lot going on, especially down on the West Coast. The fires have looked intense. I know even in the last video you did, where you were stretching, it was behind you. So it's crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, that was crazy, because I think that was actually the further northwest fires that affected that. Like the smoke came so high in the atmosphere that it just blocked out the sun, which was wild.
It looked gnarly. Everything that I saw, all the clips that were getting posted, like everything was just orange.
Yeah, it was weird. Very trippy.
That's crazy.
And I think it's happening. I'm on the East Coast now, but I think it's still that kind of like really eerie, smoked out vibe right now. It's just like it's really sad and awful.
That's rough.
Air quality, etc. I think someone told me that the air quality was like 4 in the 400s today. Oh yeah, 437. So bad. I think 220 is like dangerously unhealthy. Gnarly. But anyway, that's something to keep in mind. And
you guys have had to enjoy.
What's that? Say that again.
Sorry, it glitched out on me for a second.
It glitched out on me too. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed kind of the stretching process, and those of you guys that went through that, you guys feel a little bit better. If you guys are interested in this kind of content, and more of this kind of content, we're going to be trying to come back to you guys again. At a later date, we're going to do some more stretching. And then obviously you have Old Friends that Walker runs, and Walker's Patreon as well. If you guys subscribe to that, they're, like Walker was saying, they've got their blog where they're putting out all of this information. This right now currently is specific to foam rollers and foam rolling. So there's a lot of things that you guys can take from this, but if you guys are interested in this stuff and you're stoked and you're trying to learn how to stretch and feel better, definitely subscribe to Walker's Patreon. And just to add to what Walker said too, if you guys have extra things that you want to donate, time on your hands, those of you guys on the West Coast, and then just extra money, like let's take care of these people that are struggling. The organizations that Walker talked about are great organizations. Like let's do the best that we can to help out people in need, because obviously if we're good enough here and we're doing all right, somebody else isn't. You gotta take that extra hand and give it to somebody else. So,
oh yeah, appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Of course.
And real quick, what happened to you? Your hands all, I can tell your hands all bashed.
My hands are pretty jacked. I slammed on a skateboard with my dog, and I may or may not hit my finger and put it back in place by myself. I don't know. It's all broken though. We just got fat hands.
You got good mobility though, so you're probably all right. But damn.
So as far as I know, X-rays said I'm not broken. I just have no knuckles on my right hand. So
insanely swollen, dude. Oh
I'll survive.
Yeah.
I've got anti-inflammatories prescribed, and the X-rays said nothing's broken, so I'm surviving.
That's good. Cool. Well, all right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. That was fun, and look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. Hope y'all have a good one.
Cool.
Can't compare to all the pedigree. They saying it's sinning, but all I see is jokes. They never want any smoke. They feeling it in their throat. Only a matter of time. We're gonna see them all choke. Unravel the sun rattles the intimate folk. Oh no, we know that's rain and so. The internet shows the intimate know the feeling is gone. Yeah.
It's all after time with the I've been roll out of line like I don't read the signs. I'm so done with the lies, that's why I ain't got no time.
I'ma need every minute y'all took from me.
I ain't got no time.
It's my time now.
I ain't got no time.
God always.
I ain't got no time. I ain't got no.
We in here.
Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go. Come on. It's forever. No surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. Go. And there will be no surrender. Now allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me J-O-N to the easy E-N. Know that we undefeated. Y'all are beneath them speeches trying to air a grievance. But his lines are overhead. Better check the air for clearance. Call the tower. This is ours. Clear the heat. The air apparent. Really, I've never been better. Legacy, this is forever. All the more times I've been severed. I'm raising the bar. You can go ahead and measure. Think about time for a toast. Time that we welcome to go. Yo, we're just leaving. I think about time that somebody go get them their coat. You know I got all that anthem. Come back in. What you call that add-on? Got anthems and bands with masters. Getting them right like my name was Miranda. I ain't bigger dead than alive. I ain't bigger dead than alive. One more time. This is forever. Remember the legend. He never gonna die. I ain't bigger dead than alive. Bigger dead than alive. I ain't bigger dead than alive. Dead than alive. I ain't bigger dead than alive. Bigger dead than alive. Just making sure that you know why. Because this is forever. And there will be no surrender. Yeah. Come on. Here we go. You know that this right here forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know this right here forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know this right here forever. I am just leaving a legacy. I am the one that they paid us. Got something to say to me, say. You know I've been waiting so patiently. This is my legacy. Y'all don't believe me, it waits. Basically, I have been running things. You can just go on and take a seat. Yeah. Loving they hated me, put that on everything. Not on my level. You could be the enemy. This is the plan that we showing them anyway. Hit up the lawyers and give them the NDA. Woo! This is the brand new. This is the brand new. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. And there ain't no thing that you'll be taking from me. Man, that I came from nothing. Made it something. Name is buzzing. Call me Ryan Gosling. Hey, gon' know that they gonna love me more when I'm gonna retire the throne. The kind of things that I'm gonna be feeling like a god. Because this is forever. And there will be no surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know this right here forever. No surrender. It's forever. You know this right here forever.
I'm bigger dead than alive. Bigger dead than alive. I'm bigger dead than alive. Dead than alive. Yeah. I'm bigger dead than alive. Bigger dead than alive. Really, I never been better. Legacy, this is forever. Really, I never been better. Legacy, this is forever. Really, I never been better. The legacy live on forever. Yo, remember the legend and know that he never surrendered.
Because this is forever.